Do you feel like something is chasing you? As if there's an invisible force pulling you toward places, people, or situations that you can't rationally explain? Do you wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, feeling like something big is about to happen, but you don't know exactly what it is? This feeling is not a coincidence. It's not anxiety. It's not your mind playing tricks on you. And desire is chasing you, and he is pursuing you because you are right on the threshold of your awakening. While other people live their lives on the surface, repeating patterns, following predictable scripts, you were marked for something completely different. You were chosen to break through, to transcend, to activate something that most will never even feel exists. And the universe knows it, the spiritual forces know it. And now they are moving heaven and earth to put you exactly where you need to be. The desire that haunts you is not weakness, it's a calling. It's not a lack of control, it's preparation. Today, what was hidden will be revealed. But before we continue, if you're feeling this confirmation in your heart right now, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell, because what's coming in the next few days will complete what's being activated in you now. And in the comments, share what was the biggest provocation, the greatest desire, or the greatest restlessness that has been haunting you lately. Write it down there, because that's your mark, your confirmation that you are a chosen one in the process of awakening. Now take a deep breath and stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear will completely change the way you see everything that's happening in your life. Let's start with the truth. No one has told you. Desire is not your enemy. For years you've been taught that desiring is dangerous, that wanting is a sign of spiritual weakness, that you should always be at peace, always balanced, always in control. But here is the first revelation that will turn everything upside down: the desire and language of awakening. When you're about to enter a new phase, when your soul is on the verge of a gigantic transformation, the universe doesn't send you a polite note. It shakes you. It provokes you. It plants within you a fire that won't go out, a restlessness that won't leave you in peace, a desire that haunts you day and night until you finally pay attention. And that's exactly what's happening to you right now. You are not out of control. You are being prepared. This desire that keeps you awake at night, that makes you question everything, that drags you into unknown territories, is not a flaw of yours. It is the universe pushing you out of your comfort zone, tearing you away from the small spaces where you have settled, forcing you to face the greatness that has always been written about you. But here's what nobody explains. This process is intentionally uncomfortable because, you see, if the awakening were gentle, if the transformation were mild, you would never move forward. You would remain under the illusion that everything is fine, that the life you have is enough, that your current limits are your real limits. Desire pursues you precisely to pull you out of this illusion. It bothers you, provokes you, destabilizes you, because you need to wake up. And in the last few months, you've felt that intensely, haven't you? There were times when you wanted something so badly it was frightening. There were nights when you couldn't sleep, because something inside you screamed for change, for movement, for something new. There were days when you looked at your life and felt a strange emptiness, not because your life was bad, but because your soul knows you were made for so much more. This is desire chasing you, and it's chasing you because the door to your awakening is opening. Now pay attention to this, because here comes something crucial. The desire that haunts you is not random. It has direction. It has purpose. It is leading you exactly where you need to go. It may seem chaotic, it may seem confusing, it may even seem wrong at times, but there is an intelligence behind it all. There is a divine timing at work, even when you can't see it. While you thought you were lost, the universe was positioning you. While you thought you were off track, you were being placed exactly on the right path. That intense desire you feel is not a distraction, it's attraction. You are being magnetically pulled to the next level of your existence. And if you resist, if you try to stifle it, if you try to control it too much, you'll miss the timing. Because, you see, awakening has a window. It doesn't wait forever. When the door opens, you need to go through it. When the call comes, you need to answer. And that desire, that calling, it's nudging you, provoking you, taking you out of your comfort zone, making you question everything because you're one step away from something gigantic, one step away from activating gifts that were dormant, one step away from entering frequencies you've never accessed before, one step away from becoming the version of yourself that always existed in potential, but never had the space to emerge. This is the awakening, and it begins with desire chasing you. Now let me take you deeper, because there's a second layer to this truth that most people never discover. The desire that haunts you isn't just about you wanting something. It's about something wanting to be born through you. This is the second revelation. You are not wishing for this by chance. You are pregnant with a new destiny. Think about it. When a woman is pregnant, her body changes completely. She experiences nausea, strange cravings, physical and emotional restlessness. Her body knows that something new is coming, and it prepares itself in every possible way. And that's exactly what's happening to you now, but on a spiritual level. You are pregnant with your next level. Something is forming inside you, something powerful, something that will completely change the trajectory of your life. And just as a pregnant woman has intense and inexplicable cravings, you are feeling these cravings because a new reality is trying to be born through you. But here's the challenge. Most people abort the awakening. They feel the desire, become frightened, and run back to what is safe. They feel the restlessness, interpret it as a problem, and try to medicate themselves, distract themselves, numb themselves. They feel the call, but because it comes disguised as discomfort, they reject it. And then the awakening is delayed. The transformation is interrupted. Destiny is put on pause. You can't do that, because you see, this moment you're living right now isn't ordinary. It's not every day that the door to awakening opens. It's not every hour that the universe conspires to uplift you. There's a timing happening now, a convergence of forces, an open window that won't stay open forever. What if I told you that everything you've been through in the last few years was just preparation for this exact moment? All those losses that didn't make sense at the time, all those relationships that ended without explanation, all those plans that crumbled before your eyes, all of that wasn't punishment, it was cleansing. The universe was emptying your life of everything that no longer resonated with the frequency of your awakening, because you can't move to the next level carrying the weight of the previous one. You can't awaken to your true power while still trapped in petty dynamics, toxic relationships, and environments that diminish you. So the universe did the dirty work. It removed, it cut, it crumbled, so that you could have the internal and external space to be reborn. And now, after all this preparation, desire haunts you like the final sign that you are ready. Before, you desired small things. You wanted comfort, security, approval. But now that desire has changed levels, now you desire impact, you desire purpose, you desire true freedom. You desire to become who you truly are, without masks, without excuses, without fear. This desire is dangerous for the ego, but it is essential for the soul. Because the ego wants to keep you safe, predictable, controlled. But the soul wants to see you free, powerful, fulfilled. And when the soul takes command, desire changes its nature. It ceases to be a whim and becomes fuel. It ceases to be weakness and becomes a driving force. And that's why you can't ignore it anymore. That's why you can't pretend everything's okay when it's not. That's why you can no longer settle for half, for almost, for just surviving. Desire haunts you because your soul has been demanding it your whole life. Now here's something you need to understand clearly. This process isn't linear. There will be days when you feel like you're making progress. There will be days when you feel like you've gone back 10 steps. There will be moments of absolute clarity. There will be moments of total confusion. This is normal. This is part of the awakening, because you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your frequency. And when you change your frequency, everything around you needs to reorganize. People, places, opportunities, everything goes through a readjustment to align with who you are becoming. And during this readjustment, desire pursues you like a compass. It shows you what still needs to be transformed. It points you to where you are still trapped. It pushes you out of any cage you have built for yourself. So don't fight the desire, listen to it, because it's guiding you straight to the door of your awakening. And that door is opening now. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. And in the comments, write about the most difficult moment you've recently experienced, that moment when everything seemed to be falling apart. Write it down, because that was the moment the universe was preparing you for what's coming next. Now comes the third revelation, and this one changes everything. Pay close attention, because what you are about to hear will give new meaning to every second of pain, every moment of intense desire, every restless night you have lived through. The desire that haunts you is not yours. It's the universe calling you back home. Did you understand this? The desire wasn't born in you, it was planted in you. Even before you were born, there was a purpose, a mission, a specific frequency that only you could carry. And for years, you lived disconnected from it. You lived trying to fit into molds that were never made for you. You lived trying to be normal when you were created to be extraordinary. And the universe watched all of this patiently. It let you experiment. It let you try. It let you explore paths that weren't yours. But there came a point when it said, enough. And then it activated desire, that desire that haunts you, and the universe pulling you back to your true path. And your essence calling you back home, and your soul screaming that the time for pretending is over, that the time for hiding is over, that the time for living half a life is over. And that's why this desire is so strong. That's why it doesn't leave you in peace. That's why it wakes you up in the middle of the night, makes you question everything, takes you out of your comfort zone. Because it's not optional, it's a calling. And callings don't ask for permission, they demand a response. But here's what happens to most people. They hear the call and are afraid. They feel the urge and think they're going to lose control. They realize they're about to awaken and panic, because awakening means letting die everything you thought you were. And this death is frightening. It's very frightening, because you'll have to leave behind versions of yourself that have protected you for years. You'll have to let go of beliefs that gave you security, even if they were limiting beliefs. You'll have to abandon relationships that kept you small, even if they were family relationships. You'll have to leave environments that imprisoned you, even if they were comfortable. Awakening requires you to die to everything you are not, so that you can finally live as all that you are. And desire pursues you like the force that pushes you toward this necessary death. It makes you dissatisfied with what once sufficed. It makes you restless with what once calmed you. It makes you hungry for something you can't even name properly, but that you know is essential. Now listen to this with your heart. This awakening that is knocking at your door is not just about you. It's about all those who are waiting for you on the other side. There are people who will only awaken when they encounter you. Awakened. There are lives that will only be transformed when you are operating at your true frequency. There are movements that will only happen when you assume your rightful place. Your awakening is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not optional, it's urgent. And the universe knows this. That's why it's not being kind. That's why it's being relentless. That's why desire relentlessly pursues you, because there's no more time for you to sit on the fence. The door is open now, and you need to walk through it now, But there's something else that needs to be said here. When you wake up, you'll look back and understand everything. You'll understand why that relationship ended exactly when it did. You'll understand why that job ended so abruptly. You'll understand why you felt so alone for so long. Because all of that was the universe isolating you, protecting you, preparing you. They tried to keep you small. They tried to convince you that you were ordinary. They tried to trap you in boxes, in labels, in expectations that were never yours. But the universe wouldn't allow it. It broke the boxes, it tore up the labels, it destroyed the expectations. And now you are free to be who you always were. The desire that haunts you is confirmation of this. It's proof that something has changed irreversibly within you. You can no longer go back to who you were. You can no longer accept what you once accepted. You can no longer fit where you once fit. This is not a crisis. This is an awakening. And when you finally walk through that door, when you finally answer that call, everything will rearrange itself around you in a way you never imagined possible. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. The right people will cross your path. Locked doors will open. Because the universe rewards those who answer the call, but it only rewards those who cross the threshold. Those who stand staring at the open door in fear remain outside. Those who hesitate too much miss the timing. Desire pursues you now because now is the time. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready. Now, you are on the threshold of your awakening, and desire is the hand of the universe pushing you inward. Now let's move on to the practical part, because understanding is important, but recognizing the signs is essential. Let me show you exactly how to identify that you are in this process, that the desire that haunts you is indeed the call to awakening. First sign, you can no longer tolerate dishonesty. Before, you could tolerate fake people, superficial conversations, and hypocritical environments. You even participated in it all without questioning it much. But now it's different. Now you feel a physical revulsion when someone is fake in front of you. You can't stand empty conversations anymore. You can't bear pretending everything is okay when it's not. This isn't you becoming intolerant. It's your frequency shifting. It's the awakening making you allergic to everything that isn't true. The desire for authenticity haunts you because you are being called to live in absolute truth. Second sign, you have been feeling a constant restlessness, even when everything seems to be fine. You may be healthy, have money, be surrounded by people, but still feel a strange emptiness, as if something essential is missing, as if there's a place where you should be, but you haven't arrived yet. As if there's a version of yourself waiting for you on the other side of a decision you haven't yet made. This restlessness and desire are haunting you. It's your soul telling you that you weren't born to live just a comfortable life. You were born to live a meaningful life. And as long as you're not aligned with that, the restlessness will remain. Third sign, you have been having intense and strange dreams. Dreams that seem too real, dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, dreams about places you've never been but that seem familiar, dreams about people you've never met but who seem to know you intimately. This is no coincidence. When you are on the threshold of awakening, the veil between worlds thins. You begin to access other layers of reality, other dimensions of your own existence. Dreams are portals. And now you are crossing these portals more frequently because you are being prepared. Fourth sign, you've lost interest in things that used to excite you. That hobby you once loved now seems empty. Those parties you used to enjoy now seem pointless. Those goals you pursued now seem too small. And this confuses you because you ask yourself, what's happening to me? Why does nothing satisfy me anymore? What's happening is that you're being pulled to a different level of existence. The things that satisfied the old you no longer satisfy the new you that is emerging. Desire pursues you because you need new fuel, a new purpose, a life that lives up to who you are becoming. Fifth sign, You've been feeling a strange connection to time. Sometimes it seems like time is passing too quickly. Other times it seems like it's frozen. You look at the clock and are startled by how many hours have passed. Or you look and are startled because it seems like no time has passed at all. You feel like you're living on a different timeline than other people. This happens because you are transitioning between frequencies. Time as you know it is an illusion of the third dimension. When you begin to awaken, you start operating in dimensions where time works differently. You are literally leaving the matrix of linear time. Sixth sign, you've been receiving messages from all sides. You're walking down the street and you see a sign with a phrase that seems to have been written just for you. You open social media and a video pops up saying exactly what you needed to hear. You turn on the radio and a song plays with lyrics that perfectly describe how you're feeling. You talk to someone and that person says something that resonates like a direct warning from the universe. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. The universe is sending you signals through every possible channel to remind you that you are on the right path, that awakening is happening, that you need to keep going even when everything seems confusing. Seventh sign, you have been feeling a different kind of loneliness. It's not the sad loneliness of someone who has been abandoned. It's the sacred solitude of someone being separated from the ordinary to be prepared for the extraordinary. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone because no one around you understands what you're going through. This solitude is intentional. The universe isolated you so that you could hear your own voice without interference. It isolated you so that you could reconnect with your essence without distraction. It isolated you so that when you fully awaken, you will be strong enough to hold your own light. Eighth sign, you have been experiencing body aches without a medical explanation. Back pain, pressure in the chest, heaviness in the head, tingling in the hands, chills without feeling cold, heat without fever. You go to the doctor, have tests done, and nothing shows up. The doctors say you're fine, but you know something is happening in your body. What is happening is that you are going through an energetic recalibration. Your physical body is adjusting to support a higher frequency. This may be uncomfortable, but it is temporary. It is physical proof that you are in transformation. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs, there's no doubt anymore. Desire is pursuing you because you're on the verge of awakening. And now the only question that matters is, will you walk through that door, or will you continue to look at it with fear? Now that you've recognized the signs, understood the revelations, and know that the desire haunts you for a greater reason, let's talk about what to do with all of this. Because understanding is only the first step. Integration is what transforms. The first thing you need to accept is that awakening is not an event, it's a process. You won't wake up tomorrow completely transformed. You won't walk through the door and instantly become the ultimate version of yourself. Awakening happens in layers, in waves, in cycles, and each wave can seem more intense than the last. There will be times when you feel like you're on top of the world, that everything makes sense, that you finally arrived. And there will be times when you feel like you're back to square one, that nothing makes sense, that you've lost your way. But here's the secret. Both moments are part of the same process. Awakening is not linear, it's spiral. You go up, you go down, you go up again, each time reaching a higher level than the last. Each descent is not a step backward, it's integration. It's you going to retrieve parts of yourself that were left behind so that you can ascend as a whole. So don't get discouraged when the next wave of confusion, doubt, and exhaustion comes. It doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're integrating. It means you're digesting everything that has been activated within you. It means you're becoming more solid, more real, more whole. Now let's talk about what you can consciously do to facilitate this process, to cooperate with the awakening instead of resisting it. First, stop fighting desire. I know you've been taught that desiring is wrong, that you should always be at peace, always detached, always zen. But that's a spiritual lie. You're not a Buddhist monk who spent 30 years meditating on a mountain. You're a human being living in a physical world, and desire is the force that moves matter. The problem was never desire itself. The problem was always what you did with it. If you use desire to distract yourself, to self-destruct, to escape from yourself, then yes, it becomes a problem. But if you use desire as fuel, as direction, as a driving force, it becomes the greatest ally in your awakening. So when that intense desire comes, instead of suppressing it, ask yourself, what is this desire trying to show me? Where is it pointing me? What is it trying to bring forth through me? Second, create space for silence. Awakening happens in silence. Not in the forced silence of meditation that you hate doing, but in the natural silence of disconnecting from external noise. Turn off your cell phone for a few hours. Be alone doing nothing. Look at the sky. Sit on the floor. Breathe. It is in the silence that you hear your own voice. It is in the silence that you feel what is truly happening within you. It is in the silence that the universe you without competing with the noise of the world. Third, honor what needs to die. There are things in your life that have already died, but you keep holding on to the body. There are relationships that have already ended, but you keep trying to resurrect them. There are versions of yourself that no longer exist, but you keep pretending they do. Let it die. Grieve. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. Break plates if you need to. But let it die. Because as long as you're holding on to what's already dead, you won't have a free hand to hold what's trying to be born. Fourth, trust the timing. I know you want everything to happen now. I know you're tired of waiting. I know you look at other people and think they've already arrived where you should be, but every awakening has its own timing, and yours hasn't peaked yet, but it's getting there. Desire haunts you now, because now is the time for preparation, not for conclusion, but for preparation. You are being fine-tuned, adjusted, calibrated, and when the timing is right, everything will move at once. But this timing cannot be forced. It needs to be respected. Fifth, seek out those who have already awakened. You can't do this alone. Nobody can. Awakening needs witnesses, mirrors, people who have already gone through it and can show you that it's possible. Seek out those who are vibrating at the frequency you want to reach. Observe these people. Learn from them. Let their presence remind you of what is possible. And here's something important. You too will be that person for someone. When you fully awaken, someone will look at you and think, if he could do it, I can too. Your awakening will give permission for others to awaken. That's why it's so important that you don't give up now. Sixth, accept that you will lose people in the process. Not all, but some. There are people who won't be able to handle your transformation. There are people who prefer to see you as you were, because your change exposes their stagnation. There are people who will judge you, criticize you, abandon you. Let go. It's not cruelty, it's necessity. You can't carry someone who doesn't want to walk. You can't illuminate someone who prefers darkness. You can't awaken anyone by force. The most you can do is awaken completely and trust that your light will attract those who need it. Desire haunts you, trying to take you away from everything that isn't yours, and some people will fall into that category, and it will hurt, but it will be necessary. Now, something needs to be said that few have the courage to say, but that is absolutely essential for you to know. When you are on the verge of awakening, when desire pursues you with this intensity, when you are about to activate your true power, you also become a target. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to prepare you. Because you see, awakening doesn't happen in a spiritual vacuum. There's a battle going on that most people don't see. There's a war between forces that want to see you awaken and forces that want to keep you asleep. And the closer you get to awakening, the more intense this war becomes. You'll notice that lately, strange things have started happening. People who were fine suddenly turned against you for no reason. Situations that should have gone right started going wrong in bizarre ways. You began to feel attacks that aren't physical but are very real, obsessive thoughts, devastating doubts, paralyzing fears that appear out of nowhere. This is no coincidence. This is spiritual resistance, because when you awaken, you become a threat to entire systems that depend on sleeping people. You become dangerous to control structures, to manipulation dynamics, to low frequencies that need your energy to sustain themselves. And these forces will not let you go without a fight. But here's the truth that changes everything. The protection you have is greater than any attack against you. If you've made it this far, if you're able to hear these words now, if you're able to feel this confirmation in your heart, it's because you are already protected. Not by chance, not by luck, but because there is something much greater guarding you, guiding you, holding you in this process. The desire that haunts you is not just a calling, it's also protection. It keeps you moving, and anything in motion is harder to achieve. It makes you restless, and restlessness prevents you from settling in dangerous places. It makes you question everything, and questioning protects you from accepting lies as truth. Now listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you. You need to learn to discern what comes from within and what comes from without. Not every thought that crosses your mind is yours. Not every emotion you feel originated within you. Not every doubt that paralyzes you is legitimate. There are many things trying to infiltrate your mind, your emotions, your energy field, precisely to lead you astray. And how do you make that distinction? Simple. Everything that comes from your essence expands you. Everything that comes from outside contracts you. When it's your soul speaking, you feel expansion, even if it's uncomfortable. When it's external interference, you feel contraction, even if the message seems true. Learn to feel the difference. Learn to recognize the signature of your own essence versus the signature of energies that are not yours. And there's another important thing. You need to stop giving power to what attacks you. Every time you panic, every time you believe the narrative of fear, every time you play the victim, you feed exactly what is trying to destroy you. The best protection isn't complicated rituals, magic amulets, or dependence on gurus. The best protection is staying in your own frequency. It's refusing to resonate with fear. It's continuing to walk, even when everything around you seems to be crumbling. Because here is the secret of spiritual warfare. It only has power if you believe it does. The moment you understand that nothing can touch you without your permission, the war ends. Not because the attacks stop, but because they can no longer affect you. You become untouchable not when nothing attacks you, but when attacks can no longer knock you off balance. And while you're in this process, there are simple but powerful practices that can help you keep the protection active. I'm not talking about complicated magic. I'm talking about basic things that most people ignore because they think they're too simple. Take a bath with the intention of energetic cleansing. Visualize the water carrying away everything that is not yours. Spend some time barefoot on the earth. Let your body exchange energy with the ground. Light a candle, not out of superstition, but as a symbol that the light within you is active. Burn incense, not as a ritual, but to change the frequency of the environment. They are simple things, but powerful when done consciously. And there's something else that needs to be said here. Not everyone who smiles at you is rooting for you. Not everyone who offers you help really wants to help you. Not everyone who speaks nicely has good intentions. You need to sharpen your discernment. You need to learn to read energy, not just words. You need to trust what you feel more than what you're told. Because there are people who will appear in your life exactly at the moment of your awakening, not to help you, but to lead you astray. And the way to protect yourself against this is simple. Trust the discomfort. If something or someone causes you discomfort that you can't explain, distance yourself. You don't need a logical explanation. You don't need proof. If your body signals danger, believe it. Desire haunts you, but protection accompanies you. And as long as you remain faithful to the calling, as long as you continue walking towards awakening, nothing will truly be able to stop you. They will try, they will attack, they will test you, but they will not succeed, because you're not alone on this journey. You never have been. So here we are, at the end of this meeting, but at the beginning of everything that truly matters, because now you know. Now there's no more pretending you don't know. Now there's no going back to comfortable ignorance. Desire haunts you because you are on the threshold of your awakening, and that threshold is open now, not tomorrow, not in the next life, now. And I need to tell you something in all honesty. That door won't stay open forever. There's a timing for everything. There's a window for every transformation. And your window is open now, but it can close if you hesitate too much, if you resist too much, if you keep pretending you didn't hear the call. The universe doesn't beg. It calls once, twice, 3 times. It shakes you. It provokes you. It pushes you. But if you keep refusing, eventually it respects your choice and leaves, and then you're left with the feeling that you lost something important, but without being able to name exactly what it was. Don't let that happen, because you didn't get here by chance. You're not hearing these words by coincidence. You didn't feel everything you felt in the last few months just to give up now. It was all preparation. It was all training. It was the universe shaping you, refining you, calibrating you for this exact moment. And now it's your turn to answer. Not with pretty words, not with empty promises, but with action, with decision, with movement. Awakening is not passive. It demands that you take a step, that you make a choice, that you walk through the door even with trembling legs. And maybe you're thinking, but I don't know how. I don't know exactly what to do. I don't have a map, a manual, a guaranteed step-by-step guide. And I tell you, that's exactly how it has to be. Because if you knew everything, if you had all the answers, if the path were perfectly clear, it wouldn't be awakening. It would just be following instructions. Awakening requires faith. It requires trust. It requires you to take the first step without knowing where you'll land the second. Desire pursues you to free you from the need to control everything. It pushes you towards the unknown on purpose, because it is in the unknown that miracles happen. It is in uncertainty that true power is activated, and it is in the darkness that you learn to shine with your own light. So stop waiting to be ready. You'll never be 100% ready. Nobody is. Those who have already awakened didn't awaken because they were ready. They awakened because they chose to walk through the door even without being ready. And now it's your turn. In the coming days, you will feel the desire pursuing you with even greater force. Because now you are aware. Now you know what it means. And awareness accelerates everything. What used to take months can now take weeks. What used to take years can now take months. But you need to do your part. You need to cooperate. You need to stop resisting and start flowing. You need to stop fighting the process and start dancing with it. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. There will be moments of doubt. There will be moments of fear. There will be moments when you will want to give up and go back to what was safe. But every time that impulse to retreat comes, remember what you felt here today. Remember the confirmation that hit you in the chest. Remember that you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And the chosen ones don't give up when things get tough. They get up. They keep going. They get through it. Now, before I wrap up, there's something very important you need to do. First, if you haven't already liked this video, do it now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because in the coming days I'll be bringing you content that will complement exactly what was activated in you today. Secondly, in the comments, I want you to share what was the strongest revelation you had here. What was the moment when you felt it was speaking directly to you? Write it down there, because when you put it into words, when you declare it, You anchor the transformation. You make everything more real. And third, if you truly feel this calling, if you're truly ready to cross the threshold of awakening, go to the first pinned comment. There's material there that I prepared especially for those who are in this moment. It's not for everyone. It's only for those who have truly heard the calling and are ready to respond. And lastly, share this video with someone you know who is also going through this. Someone who is also feeling the desire chasing them. Someone who is also on the verge of awakening. Because that person may need to hear exactly this today. Desire pursues you because you are on the threshold of your awakening. The door is open. The universe is waiting, and all you need to do now is take the first step. You didn't come this far to stand on the sidelines and watch. You came this far to cross over, so cross over. The world needs you awake, and your time is now. See you on the other side.